Hello Leafs Nation, welcome back to your go-to channel, the Toronto Maple Leaf News Network. Today, we have for you jam-packed updates about our Leafs, which have just come to our notice a few hours ago. So if you are a true Leafs fan, you don't want to miss these updates. And yes, before we start the video, a request. If you are new to the channel, then don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop. Let's dive right into our first major update of the day. A story that has the entire fan base talking and wondering what the future holds. Update 1. The Nick Robertson powder keg. Is a trade imminent? Alright, Leafs Nation, let's get right into it. There's a familiar feeling in the air, isn't there? It feels a lot like last season when we had a logjam of right-handed defensemen, and we all watched as Connor Timmins and Timothy Liljegren were eventually dealt away to bring in a better fit like Brandon Carlo won. Well, history might be about to repeat itself, but this time it's up front. The name on everyone's lips right now is Nick Robertson, and the trade rumors are swirling hotter than ever. Now, we all know the story with Nick Robertson. The man can absolutely wire the puck. He's a pure shooter with a relentless motor and an ambition that you just can't teach. Whenever he's in the lineup, he finds a way to score. But, and this is the big question that management is wrestling with, is that enough? The whispers from inside the organization and the analysis from those who watch every single shift suggest that while his shot is a major weapon, there are other parts of his game that leave something to be desired. The reality is, his size can be a limiting factor in certain situations on the ice, no matter how hard he tries. And we know he tries, the kid is all heart. This has led to what the reports are calling a tenuous relationship between Robertson and the Maple Leafs. That's a strong word, and it suggests this isn't just about performance. It's about fit, it's about opportunity, and it might just be about a player who sees a clearer path to success elsewhere. And it seems other teams see that path for him too. According to the latest intel, 3 teams have already emerged as rumored destinations: the Chicago Blackhawks, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the San Jose Sharks. Think about it from their perspective. For rebuilding or thinner teams, a young, cost-controlled player with Robertson's goal-scoring upside is incredibly appealing. On those rosters, he wouldn't be fighting for a spot on the 4th line. He'd likely see his ice time and production hit career highs. But what's the return for Toronto? This is where it gets tricky. If you're hoping for a king's ransom, you might want to temper your expectations. The chatter suggests the Leafs shouldn't be expecting a massive haul. We could be looking at a late-round draft pick or perhaps a player-for-player swap involving another similarly disgruntled player, though that might not solve any immediate needs for us. The most intriguing possibility, this could be a move to clear cap space. Trading Robertson could be the first domino to fall, a precursor to a much bigger, more impactful move down the line. Even if he stays, the battle is far from over. With the Leafs' new forward structure, packed with centers and defensive specialists, there's a fight for every single spot. The top lines are set, and on the 3rd line, one of Max Domi or Matias Maccelli is expected to play with Nicholas Roy and Dakota Joshua. That leaves Robertson in a fierce competition for a 4th line role against guys like Scott Laughton and Steven Lorentz. And don't forget defensive-minded players like Kalje Jarnkrok or David Kampf, or even a grinder like Michael Pezzetta. And then there's the wild card, Easton Cowan. He might be sent to the American Hockey League to develop, but he's pushing hard, and even if Robertson wins the spot out of camp, he'll be looking over his shoulder all season. In the end, the front office has time. They can let this play out, give Robertson a chance to prove his value, or perhaps increase his trade stock. But with his status as a future unrestricted free agent looming, a split seems likely at some point. For now, he has a chance to help the Leafs become a team with 4 truly dangerous lines. The question for you, Leafs Nation, is what would you do? Update 2. Max Domi's tightrope act. Bulldog mentality or bust? All right, let's shift gears to our second huge story of the day, and it's a message sent loud and clear from the top. Head coach Craig Berube has officially put Max Domi on notice, and it all centers around his new high-stakes role on the top line alongside Auston Matthews and Matthew Knies. With just 2 preseason games left, the final one at home against the Detroit Red Wings, the pressure is officially on. Now, getting a spot on the top line with 2 of the league's premier players is a massive vote of confidence. But it comes with a catch, and Berube wasn't shy about spelling it out. After practice on October 1st, he laid down the gauntlet for Domi. "I need him to get inside more," Berube stated. "I need him to shoot more. It can't be all about looking for Matthews or Knies with plays. We need him to be a bulldog out there." That's a direct challenge. Berube is essentially telling Domi, don't just be a passenger on this line, be a driver. He acknowledged that Domi has the skill to make plays, but he wants to see a more selfish, aggressive mindset. He wants Domi to use his own shot to get to the dirty areas of the ice and to be a relentless force defensively, a true bulldog in the coach's own words. This isn't just about offense. It's about a complete mentality shift. There's a feeling echoed by some in the media that while playing in the middle six, Domi might have been able to coast along on his natural talents, relying on his line mates to fill in the gaps in his game. That won't fly on the top line, not with Berube at the helm. He's making it clear that every player on that line needs to do whatever is necessary to succeed. Matthew Knies is expected to be the tenacious puck hound, crashing the net and creating space. But for that to be fully effective, Domi needs to be confident enough to capitalize on that space, to finish plays himself, not just defer. The timing of this is critical. Back in September, there were already whispers of Domi being a potential trade candidate for the 2025 to 2026 season. His $3.75 million cap hit makes him a significant piece of the puzzle, and with a feeling that he may have reached his ceiling, his lack of meaningful impact had fueled those trade rumors all summer. This is his chance to rewrite that narrative. A strong start to the season playing alongside Matthews and Knies could dramatically increase his trade value. If he proves he can be that bulldog Berube's demanding, he could become a highly sought-after piece for another team, allowing Brad Treliving to maximize the return in a potential trade. Or, even better, he could solidify his spot and make our top line one of the most dangerous and well-rounded trios in the entire league. It's a classic tightrope walk. Domi has been given the golden ticket, but with it comes immense pressure to perform and adapt his game. The next 2 preseason games will be a massive test. Will he rise to the challenge and become the bulldog the Leafs need, or will he prove the doubters, right? Let us know what you think in the comments. Update 3. Honoring a voice of the Leafs, Joe Bowen's final season tribute. One of the most iconic voices in Toronto Maple Leafs history, the legendary play-by-play announcer Joe Bowen is preparing for his final curtain call this season. At the age of 74, Bowen has announced that he will retire at the end of the 2025 to 2026 campaign, concluding a remarkable career that has spanned an astounding 44 years behind the microphone. But before he bids us farewell, the organization is planning a heartfelt tribute on December 16th during a home game against none other than the Chicago Blackhawks, the very same team Bowen made his broadcasting debut against on October 6th, 1982. This tribute will be a celebration of his legendary career and the significant impact he has had on the Leafs nation. Bowen, widely beloved for his passionate calls and his famous "Holy Mackinaw" catchphrase, expressed his gratitude and excitement about this final season, telling fans he never felt like he was working during his entire tenure with the Leafs. "For 44 years, I have had the greatest broadcasting job in the world," Bowen said in a statement. "I truly have never worked a day since arriving in Toronto to do Maple Leafs hockey. I am very much looking forward to this final season and hoping that maybe, just maybe, this is the one." General Manager Brad Treliving echoed this sentiment, calling Bowen the representative voice of Leafs Nation, whose broadcasts have been the soundtrack to countless memorable moments. The December 16th tribute game will be a full-circle moment, honoring Bowen's decades of dedication and passion for the team and its fans. Bowen's illustrious career also earned him the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award in 2018, recognizing his outstanding contributions to hockey broadcasting. His voice has been the definitive oral experience for Leafs fans, rivaling even his idol, Foster Hewitt, famous for coining the phrase, "He shoots, he scores." As Joe Bowen prepares for his final season, Leafs Nation will stand united in celebration and gratitude for the man whose calls have brought the game to life for generations. It's a tribute well-deserved, and one that every Leafs fan will want to witness. Thank you so much for sticking with us today on the Toronto Maple Leaf News Network. We hope you enjoyed these jam-packed updates on our beloved Leafs. Don't forget to hit like if you found our coverage engaging and informative, and make sure to subscribe to stay connected with the latest Leafs news always. Until next time, Leafs Nation, keep your heads high and your support unwavering. Let's go, Leafs.